maybe I shouldn't. Good evening, students, parents, guardians, grandparents, community members, special guests, and most importantly, the 2019 graduating class of Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the students and staff of the school. My name is Jack McDonald, and I'm the principal of the school. Before we get started, I have just a couple housekeeping items. In the unlikely event that we need to evacuate the building this evening, the fire exits are located up to my right here, up above the stands, and to my left here, and then the main entrance over here. Washrooms, as you probably know, are located in the main lobby. At this time, I'd like you to remove your hats so that we are able to honor our country, Canada. We'll start with acknowledging Mi'kmaq territory. We would like to acknowledge that the land on which we are on for time immemorial is in Mi'kmaq, the traditional ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Please join graduating student Julia Shields in the singing of her national anthem, O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras se porte l'épée, il se porte la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. Welcome to our special guests this evening. Please stand as I call your name. Mr. Mark Pettipaw, Coordinator of Science and Family of Schools Coordinator for the Strait Regional Center for Education. Mayor Laurie Boucher, representing the town of Antigonish. Councillor Donnie MacDonald, representing the county of Antigonish. On stage, we have Mr. Charles McDonald, Guidance Counselor and Vice Principal. Ms. Suzanne Delaney, Vice Principal. Sister Catherine McGilvery. Lieutenant Colonel Eleanor Taylor. And Guidance Counselor, Ms. Denise Chesson. Sister Catherine McGilvery, please come forward to lead the prayer of invocation.
Let us pray. This evening, we are here to celebrate with you the Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School class of 2019. We mark this special occasion in your life and the beginning of new adventures. We are proud of each one of you and your accomplishments, recognizing the challenges you faced, but knowing you succeeded. We honor and thank all who supported you your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, friends, teachers, support staff, and volunteers. To your teachers who are retiring, we pray that you enjoy good health. We ask God to bless you, graduates, as you go forth from this school. May you continue to grow and become good citizens of this world. Amen.
Thank you, Sister. Mr. Mark Pettipaw, Coordinator of Science and Family of Schools Coordinator from the Detroit Regional Center for Education, will share a message on behalf of Regional Executive Director for Education, Mr. Paul Landry.
Good evening. Graduates of 2019, parents and guardians, staff, special guests, friends, and family. On behalf of the Detroit Regional Center for Education and Regional Executive Director Paul Landry, I am very pleased to be part of the celebrations today. We come together to recognize the achievements of a very special group of students, the Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School graduates of 2019. I am honored to share this very important evening with you. To you, our distinguished graduates, your graduation today is an extremely important milestone in your life. All of us gathered here today are very proud of your accomplishments and the contributions you have made to your studies, to your extra and co-curricular activities, to your school, and to your community. You have been very fortunate to be part of such a caring and supportive learning environment. I would like to acknowledge the commitment and leadership of our school administration, teaching and support staff who have guided our graduates. Thank you for your dedication and for what you do each day for students. I would like to recognize and thank parents and guardians for their ongoing guidance and support. Your unconditional love and encouragement are an important part of our student success. I would also like to thank the many other members of our school communities. You may or may not realize the significant amount of support that they provide by generously volunteering to help with school breakfast programs, serve on school advisory councils, donate to scholarships, bursaries, and fundraising activities, and so much more, all of which support student learning and success. Graduates, your hard work and exemplary efforts are most deserving of our admiration. I sincerely hope you cherish each moment of your graduation celebrations. You are at one of the most exciting times of your life, a time of accomplishment, great discovery, and endless possibilities. As you prepare to begin the next exciting chapter of your lives, I know that you will continue to build upon the solid educational foundation with which you have been provided. I encourage you to use your education, special skills, and talents that each of you have to make a meaningful difference in whatever path you choose to pursue. Congratulations and best wishes for continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pettipaw. At this time, we will present two major awards. Mr. Charles McDonald and Ms. Suzanne Delaney, please come forward to read the bios and present the Lieutenant Governor medals.
Angus Roderick Kennedy. Angus's academic standing is beyond commendable. He is in the French immersion program. He prides himself on being passionate on social awareness issues. His many volunteer efforts and school involvement has provided Angus with a very much appreciated outlet for his strengths and abilities. He is a very kind and generous person and a worthy recipient of this honor. Congratulations, Angus.
Emma Kate Smith. Emma should be very proud, as she is a strong student who takes her academics seriously and was a key member in helping develop the new IB Gaelic program at Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School. She gives of her time helping others, whether it be through a family's Olibot project or being a great role model who inspires and motivates young dancers during competitions. Congratulations, Emma.
This time, I would like to call on Ms. Effie Boutlier to come forward to introduce our guest speaker.
Looking very good tonight, graduates. Looking very sharp. Fairly early in my teaching career, at what was then known as St. Andrew Junior High, I coached this terrific soccer player. She was a goalie, but she regularly scared the living daylights out of me. She would dive to get the ball at the post, at her opponent's feet. She would just play with all her heart. She was strong and fearless and just pretty amazing. I also had her as a student in my class. And there she was very quiet and mature, but also very funny, had the greatest laugh, still does, and also very empathetic and insightful and quite brilliant, very intelligent, but humble and modest and caring about others. At the time, I taught with her mom, whose name is also Effie, and I remember her mother telling me that she was concerned because her daughter she planned to go into the military. Effie and Jim, the parents of this young woman, worried, of course, about the inherent challenges of a military career, and especially the challenges for a woman in such a male-dominated career. Well, a few years later, in 1994, this bright and brave young woman graduated from Dr. John Hugh Gillis and went on to Royal Military College of Canada. She started her military career in the summer, and eventually she earned her Bachelor of Arts and her Master's in Defense Studies. She went on to an impressive and distinguished 25-year career in the Canadian Armed Forces. Although most of us who knew Eleanor as a teenager and later as a friend, she was a friend as a teenager too, but as an adult, were not surprised at her success at military college. And nor were we surprised when she went on to active duty. I was impressed, though, that when I learned that in 2010, Major Taylor had commanded an infantry company and attached units west of Kandahar City in Afghanistan, frequently engaging in combat against the Taliban. At that time, she was the only woman serving in the NATO forces in Afghanistan to command a frontline combat unit. I guess the folks from Antigonish reading the casket were not the only ones who were impressed with Eleanor. The U.S. military was impressed enough to seek out Major Taylor's expertise in 2013 as they were considering finally allowing women to formally serve in combat units, even though Canada had been doing it since 1989. This 37-year-old young woman from St. Andrews in Antigonish County with 15 years infantry service was a bit taken aback that this was still an issue, but she stepped up and offered her input. True to her humble nature, when the media got hold of this story and wanted to interview her about it, Eleanor was reluctant to call attention to her own accomplishments. Instead, she gave credit to other women who saw combat in Afghanistan, including another woman with Antigonish roots, the late Nicola Goddard. She also acknowledged her male counterparts who met similar challenges but were not singled out. As well, of course, she praised the soldiers who were under her command. In addition to that achievement, she was deployed 3 times, had 3 operational deployments. But in addition to that, now Lieutenant Colonel Taylor has had her name appear on the list of International Women's Day list of the 100 most powerful women in Canada, the 2013 Women's Executive Network Top 100 Women. She has received the Meritorious Service Medal, the Order of Military Merit, in recognition of her frontline leadership, tactical acumen, and determination. She is singled out on Canada's Veterans Affairs list of Canada's military firsts over the last 100 years. She's been a guest lecturer, although she downplays it, at Oxford University, and as mentioned, an advisor to the U.S. Military Command on gender integration. She currently is the Chief of Staff for the 36th Canadian Brigade Group with the 5th Canadian Division. There's probably much more that we could find out about her, but she would be too modest to mention it. Lieutenant Colonel Taylor is now pleased to be stationed in Nova Scotia. She had been in Ottawa, and so she's close to home and is able to visit her parents and extended family more, including one of our graduates here tonight. And she lives there with her 2 very cute children, Isaac and Beth. I don't know if she can still play soccer, but I do know she still has a great sense of humor and that great laugh. We're most fortunate to have her here with us tonight. Please help me welcome as our graduation speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Eleanor Taylor.
Wow, what an introduction. I really don't know where to go from here. Thank you so much, Mrs. Boutlier. You were an inspiration to me when I was just a very young, enthusiastic, and very unskilled soccer player. In fact, I'm going to reference you in my speech, so we'll wait for that. Graduates, staff of the Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School, parents, family, friends, it is such an honor to be here with you today. I feel so privileged to have the opportunity to speak to you, although somewhat incredulous that it has been 25 years since I was sitting in your chairs doing what you're doing right now. My mother said to me once that I still feel like a girl of 13, but I find it hard to square myself that with the old lady that I see reflected back at me in the mirror. I feel a bit like that today. Before going any further, I would like to take the opportunity to thank 2 important groups, and I know we've already touched on those groups, so I won't spend a lot of time. But to the teachers and administrators of John Hugh Gillis Regional High School, being a teacher and supporting students through their education is very hard and sometimes thankless work. But I can think of no job in the world more important. Your hard work, compassion, and creativity has been a critical component to the success of these graduates. And on their behalf, I thank you. There's a special subgroup of this group, and that is our 4 retiring teachers and 1 retiring teacher's assistant. So if I could just call out Yvonne Quick, Brad Puskas, Joan Conrad, Effie Boutlier, and Elaine Pettipaw. Your contribution has spanned generations and is immeasurable. The second group, parents, guardians, caregivers, this day is also your day. We know that the success of these graduates would not have been possible were it not for your loving and nurturing support. And I know that you celebrate this success as much, and in some cases, even more than they do. And so, on their behalf, I thank you too. Before I go any further, I also want to acknowledge some of the changes that I have seen in the student body of Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School. When I attended school here, there were really the Hicks and the Townies, and it was a great group. Go Hicks! It had some diversity, but what I see now with new Canadians in the school, international students. What I see here that has been built by the school is an opportunity for the students to engage with each other and to get windows into new cultures, different ways of looking at the world. And I can tell you from my experience of having spent some time in war-burdened countries that the attitudes that either perpetrate or stop conflict start right now. They start right now in this age group. And what you are doing by learning more about each other is characteristic of the values of Antigonish and the values that we hold dear. As I was preparing for this address, I asked myself, what is it that has earned me the privilege of being able to speak to you today? And Mrs. Boutlier, of course, is like taking it over the top. But really what I felt was that I have achieved some recognition as a combat leader in Afghanistan. And I can tell you with honesty that if you had asked me 25 years ago when I was sitting in your seat, if I felt that I was going to be here speaking to you as a former combat leader in Afghanistan, I would have told you to stop smoking so much weed. It was illegal then. But here I am, and what I hope to convey to you in this address is that the experiences that you have had here in this community, in this school, have provided you with the essential building blocks to do anything, even something as unlikely as finding yourself a combat leader in Canada. I'll also attempt to share with you a few of the really important things that I've learned along the way, and they are 3. 1 is that failure fortifies you. 2 is that confidence takes time to grow and is directly related to your competence. And finally, that external obstacles are easy to overcome, and it is the internal ones where you should focus your efforts. So as you now know, I did not come from a military family. I was not particularly interested in being a pioneer in this world. I was excited by the adventure that the military might offer to me, but I knew very little about it. When I applied to the Army, I hoped to be a pilot, but my eyes were not good enough. So I read a brochure about the infantry, and it talked about adventure, and I thought that was a great idea. However, I did not know at the time that the infantry was made up of less than 1% of women. And had I known that at the time, I probably would have chosen a different path. When I got to basic training, I had a few people, senior people, come to me and kindly ask me, do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself in for? And my answer was an unequivocal no. Does anyone have any idea what we've gotten ourselves in for at this stage in our lives? I look at you. Do you have any sense of what you've gotten yourself in for in the next bound? And the answer was no. And I learned that I was about to take a road less traveled, and that my future, and it was at that moment that I began to think about what my future was going to look like in this profession. And I began to ask myself, am I really cut out to lead at all? And certainly, am I cut out to lead a group of primarily men? And so whenever people talked about the fact, and you would hear it around, that women were not cut out for the infantry, or that women were not cut out for combat, I would listen acutely, and it would make me feel sick to my stomach. But there was still something about that recruiting brochure that attracted me, and there seemed to be no graceful way to back out, and so I persevered. So I want to talk about the values that we share in this room that I believe set me up for some success. I set about to become physically fit, and that was a very easy part. I had a coach, a running coach, a quote to me, Henry Ford: "If you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right." And that became an internal monologue, an internal narrative that I played over and over, first to develop my fitness and then to fix some of the other things about how I was thinking about things. What I decided to do was what I had learned to do here in this community. I decided to work really hard, volunteer for all the really terrible things, and really go about and serve people. And these are all virtues that I learned here. This community that's rooted in people who volunteer, this community who's rooted in people who serve others, this community who takes these values and makes them their lives. And in fact, I didn't even realize that they were values. I thought that was just how everybody behaved, until I left this community and realized that everybody didn't interact this way. And so that approach set me up immediately to have great relationships with my peer groups, which was great. I also had very strong female role models, and I'll start first with my mom. My mother, Effie Taylor, is a powerhouse, never afraid to challenge authority, never afraid to have her voice heard, always championing the little guy. I didn't realize the impact that she had on me until many, many years later, but I thank her for it. Women here in this room, Mrs. Bootlier, as you know, my grade 7 English teacher. She coached me as a soccer player, and I remember marveling at how she easily managed the most difficult boys in the room with her acerbic wit. And I remember marveling at it. But I also remember very vividly the compassion that you showed for every student and the care. And it was Mrs. Bootlier and strong women like her that helped me to see what right looks like from a female leader's perspective. The last is treat everybody with respect. Treat absolutely everybody with respect, and hold those people who do the manual labor, the hard work, in utter reverence. I remember my mother telling me, you always treat the caretakers with the most respect because they do the most work and get the least credit. We in our community recognize that working with our hands, working on the land, these are the things that shape our society. And so that sense and reverence of that type of work enabled me to have great relationships with the people the soldiers that I worked with, and also the people that I worked with overseas. So I'll move on to the next point, and that is that failure fortifies you. I entered the hardest part of my training, and while I had success in developing good relationships with my peers, and I kind of understood the material, I still did not internalize myself. I didn't really see myself as a leader, a combat leader of men. And so I had succeeded by learning to close my mouth and work hard. But then when I was being assessed as an infantry leader, really what they're looking for is somebody who can tell people directly what to do in combat. And I struggled with that because I didn't see myself in that role. And so on the very last day of the very hardest course in the infantry, I failed. I failed the course, and it was a public, devastating, humiliating failure. And I felt that all of the people who were out there who didn't think that women should be in the infantry were smugly sitting there saying, ha, 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 I told you. They probably weren't, but that's how I felt. And I wanted to crawl in a hole and never come out. But I did get up, and I did go back and take the course again, and I passed it. And by doing the course again, I learned the material better, and I went to my first posting on very strong footing because the people that I had worked with kind of had some respect that I was willing to do the course again. And so it turned out to be a blessing that it took me a long time to recognize. So for those of you who have overcome adversity to get here, for whom academics does not come naturally, or who struggled through family challenges during these years, or for those of you who have come from other countries and are working in your second language, know that your success is not just the success of having achieved a diploma, but your success comes with the knowledge that you have been able to get up. This is an essential skill, as unpleasant as it may be. Those amongst you who have fought through adversity have my most heartfelt congratulations, for your diploma was hard won. For those of you who have not yet had the opportunity to fail, fear not. It will happen, and when it does, recognize that it is an essential ingredient for growth. The relationship between confidence and competence. My first significant failure took me a long time to recover from. And so when I went to the battalion, I wasn't focused on, knocking it out of the park because I'd already missed the mark on that. I decided to celebrate the micro successes of every day. And so I did. I set about to just have good days, to succeed every day, to give a good set of orders, to run a good physical fitness class, to have a good exercise, to recognize when somebody was willing to share a joke with me, to acknowledge that somebody who had been uncomfortable with me before was now relaxed. And while I learned that failure is painful, it's not fatal, and it also gave me the courage to try things that I might not have done before. There are also those who say that you should go into your first job and be confident. I believe that this is a very tall order because confidence is inextricably linked with competence. There are those who say you should fake confidence. I don't agree. While I don't think you should lay your anxieties out in front of the people that work with you. I think you need to give yourself time to develop competence before you demonstrate real confidence. So, I had a couple of great experiences after I went to the battalion. I went to Kosovo in my first 6 months. I had an opportunity to get my parachute wings. I worked with Special Operations Forces. I felt like I was at the top of my game. And then I was asked to go and be a company commander in Afghanistan. And the opportunity stopped me in my tracks because it forced me to relook at all of the anxieties that I felt about whether or not I was genetically predisposed to do this job. I had learned how to lead with confidence, but I was not sure that I could be a combat leader. I was not sure if people would respond to me in those moments when they really needed to. I was not sure if I would be responsible for people's deaths because I was insistent on pursuing a path that I shouldn't pursue. I was plagued with doubt. Now let me say this. Everybody going to Afghanistan was plagued with doubt for one reason or another. Everybody had their own demons to work through to figure out whether this was a mission that they were cut out for. But my intellect and experience were telling me one thing, and my emotions were telling me something else. I even had friends who had known me throughout my whole career who said, yeah, Eleanor, I know you can do the job, but the men in Afghanistan will not respond to you, and therefore you probably are not going to be able to be effective. And so I went about figuring out how we were going to manage that challenge, and we had all sorts of ideas about it. I had a second in command who was 50 years old, and he was big and he was redheaded, and we decided that if it was a problem, I would use him as my proxy because it was about the organization, not about me. But that wasn't necessary. So what happened? We did have an intense 6-month period as we worked to disrupt Taliban insurgents who were focusing on Kandahar city. And it was characterized by our efforts to assist the locals, firefights, and explosive IEDs, or improvised explosive devices. And although we did have some life-altering injuries, I was able to bring my company home with me, and that's something that I will forever be grateful for. And what I relearned about the soldiers can be applied to everything we do, and that is soldiers want to win. Soldiers want to be on a team that's going to win. They also want you to deeply care for their welfare and be willing to share risks and hardship with them. And so when you go out into the world, this applies to what you do too. You and the people that you work with want to be on winning teams. And you need to be prepared to share hardship and risk with those people that you work with. So another thing that I learned was that my greatest obstacle that I had to overcome was my own inner monologue. Those people who are actually oriented against you are likely fewer than you think. However, if you give their voices prominence in your head, you are setting up your own obstacles. As you go forward, work with yourself, not against yourself. Visualize yourself succeeding at what you do. Recognize negative thoughts and actively replace them with something positive, and that can play a huge role in you becoming who you want to be. Whether that is taking the next step in academia, investing in your own business, getting the job that you've wanted for some time, take on those challenges in life knowing that you have all of the essential components to be successful. Life is too short to spend it worrying. Decide what you want to do right now and go and do it. Don't worry too much about the myriad of steps between now and your ultimate goal. Just focus on what you need to do right now and win the day. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Malcolm Cameron, and this is Kara McDougall, and we are the Dr. John Hugh Gillis Student Council co-presidents for the 2018-2019 school year.
On behalf of our graduating class, we would like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Eleanor Taylor for her words of wisdom. Your guidance will continue to inspire us in the future.
Please accept this token of our appreciation from the Dr. John Hugh Gillis Regional High School.
At this time, we would like to recognize the students that ranked in the top 10 of their graduating class in alphabetical order. Please stand and remain standing when your name is called. Elise Grace Canning. Gabrielle Carol Jenkins. Carly Elizabeth MacDonald. Margaret Patricia McDonald. Cara Louise McDougall. Jack Z. Cow Macbeth. Julia Ann Shields. Asta Marie May Stalker. Ozan Erkmez. Bridget Frances Ward. Congratulations. Now we are going to announce the top 3 medals. Could I please call Lieutenant Colonel Eleanor Taylor to present the first one for us? The Royal Canadian Legion Prize is awarded to the student who achieved the 3rd highest average in the graduating class. This year, it's Asta Stalker. Now I'd like to call upon Mr. Mark Pettipaw, Coordinator of Science and Family of Schools Coordinator for the Strait Regional Center for Education, to present the QE2 medal. This is awarded to a grade 12 student who has demonstrated superior academic achievement in grades 10, 11, and 12, and has maintained an outstanding record in school and community involvement. This year, it's Carly McDonald. Now I'd like to call upon our principal, Mr. Jack McDonald, to present the next award. The Governor General Medal is awarded to the student who achieves the highest average, which includes all grade 11 and 12 courses. This year, the recipient is Julia Shields. I'd now like to call up to the microphone Ms. Denise Chason.
Rory Joseph Matthew Adams. Harmony Alawiston Adesola. Agiad Al-Zawhuri. Jose Carlos Arroyo Rodriguez, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Brianna Lee Armsworthy, honors. Brianna Laureen Avery, French immersion. Hannah Elizabeth Baker. Kelsey Mary Baker. Colby Francis Baker. Matthew Tyler Bain, options and opportunities. Dalton James Beaver. Peter Anthony Beckers. Jeremy Benjamin Bellamore, Province of Nova Scotia, Certificate in Gaelic. Madison Ann Bennett. Madison Jane Benson, honors. Annie Joy Bloomfield, first class honors. Dustin Mitchell Bond, honors. Kirk James Boudreau, Province of Nova Scotia, Certificate in Gaelic. Olivia Ann Boudreau. Dalton Hugh Bowles. John Joseph Brophy. Benjamin Mason Broussard. Options and opportunities. Catherine Elizabeth Cameron, Province of Nova Scotia, Certificate in Gaelic. Malcolm Joseph Cameron, First Class Honors, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate. Elise Grace Canning, First Class Honors, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate. Erin Louise Cartwright. Randy Sebastian Charles, Honors, French Immersion, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate. Scott Gerard Chesson. Henry Thomas Chesson Gotchel. Jason Lee Alexander Chip. Malcolm Roderick Chisholm. Mallory Christine Chisholm. Jack Alexander Clapperton. Options and opportunities. Jaylyn Mackenzie Clark. Emily Danielle Cooper. Megan Elizabeth Cormier, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic. Aylin Lee Cunningham. Sydney May Dean. Ryan James DeCoste. Julia Margaret Delory. Alex Marie DeYoung. Brandon Joseph DeYoung. Justin David William DeYoung. Aiden Joseph Doucette, First Class Honors. Evan James Duga. Dion Vincent Durant, Honors, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate. Alexander Joseph Gerard Dykers. Options and opportunities. Annika Victoria Eckert, First Class Honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Madeline Lorraine Ealer, International Baccalaureate Certificate candidate. Morgan Alexander Ealer. Taylor Ward Estabrooks. Christine Marjorie Farrell. Nicholas Philippi, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Hayden William Fougere. Connor Alexis Fraser, French immersion. Jacob Zachary Fraser. Matthew James Gallen. Nicholas Stephen Garrow. Margaret Ann Gillis, honors. Rishika Gowda, first class honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Mason Michael Grant, honors. Andrew David Green. Eric Yvan Grenier, options and opportunities. Jotvansh Singh Guliani, first class honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Garrett Michael Gurney. Batul Haddad. Tanner Keith Harding. Marissa Lynn Hawes, options and opportunities. Jasmine Jordan Hederson, International Baccalaureate Certificate candidate. Adam James Hilling. Jacob Brian Hudson. Callie Elise Hudson, honors. Emma Mary Hulbert. Jericho Damian Hull. Johanna Maria Van Dopsler, Buitenhouse Huntley, French immersion. Gabrielle Carol Jenkins, first class honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Emma Alexina Jukes, French immersion. Dylan John Keats. Alexander Joseph Kennedy, honors. Wompa Kamdwang, Nova Scotia International Student Program, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Luke Douglas and Ann Laffin, options and opportunities. Alexander Lewis Murray Lambourne. Sophia Joy Burkett Lawrence, first class honors. Tu Le, first class honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Jeanne-Louise Leblanc, honors. Craig Curtis Lawrence LeBlanc Chisholm. Lauren Elizabeth Lowther, honors. Monica Jane Lumsden, first class honors, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Angus Lachlan McDonald. Brooke Leanne McDonald, honors. Carly Elizabeth McDonald, first class honors. Kian Campbell McDonald. Daniel Ryan McDonald. Emma Velma McDonald.
J. Alexander McDonald. Kayla Ann McDonald, honors. Won't be. Go ahead, it's over. Madison, oh, sorry. Madison Elizabeth McDonald. Margaret Patricia McDonald, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic, honors. Rebecca Ann McDonald, honors. Sarah Nicole McDonald, honors. Cameron Jane McDonald Murphy, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic, honors. Gracie Louise Marie McDougall, honors. Cara Louise McDougall, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate, First Class Honors. Kaylee Patricia McCachran. Mariah Grace McKenzie, honors. Jessica Elizabeth McKinnon, first class honors. Noah Charles McLean Durant. Ella Catherine McLean, honors. Brogan Anthony Alexander McClellan. Cameron Hugh McClellan. Colleen Glenmary McLeod, honors. Peyton Hannah McMillan, honors. Claire Saskia McMullen, honors. Nikki Marie McNeil. Colby Bernard McPherson, options and opportunities. Tyler Patrick McPherson, first class honors. Brandon Charles Masters. Jack Gcow Macbeth, first class honors. Richard William McCarran, options and opportunities. Lucas Riley McCulley. Edward Lewis McCulley Stubbs. Joyce Marie McCulley Stubbs. Rachel Helene McCoe, honors. Caden Thomas McLaren. Joshua Apakanak Monteith, International Baccalaureate Diploma candidate. Jacob Hayden Monroe, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic, Honours. Mackenzie Lynn Monroe, Options and Opportunities, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic. Julia Virginia Mabel Myatt. Isaac Albert Nearing, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, First Class Honours. Mi Wing, Nova Scotia International Student Program, First Class Honours, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate. Riley David Noble. Bryden Michael O'Hanley, Options and Opportunities, Honours. Liana Rose O'Hara. Darian Cole Joseph O'Leary. Dana Kathleen Pelly, Options and Opportunities. Matthew Allen Morrison Penner, First Class Honours. Cassidy Charlene Pettipaw, French Immersion, Honours. Seth William Pushy. Michael Claude Putnam, Honours and the recipient of the St. FX Business Order of Merit Entrance Award worth $30,000. Mary Margaret Quirk, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate. Matthew James Rankin, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic. Dondre Trevor Reddick. Olivia Christine Rehill, first class honors. Taya Elizabeth Rhino. Huntley Dion Richards, options and opportunities. Hannah May Roberts. Callum Shane Ross. Anthony Arthur Salamone, honors. Bailey Jean Sampson. Roslyn Lynn Sampson. Louis Andre Survey, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Julia Ann Shields, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, First Class Honors. Samuel Eugene Silver, First Class Honors. Lane Grant Silvius, options and opportunities. Benjamin Maxwell Henry Sims. Curry John Stanley Smith, Province of Nova Scotia, Certificate in Gaelic. Lauren Kim Snow, honors. Guy Sabrel, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Congratulations. Richard Andrew Sorensen. Asta Marie May Stalker, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, French Immersion, First Class Honors. Ruth Lily Hong Chow Stanley Blackwell, International Baccalaureate Certificate Candidate, First Class Honors. Brenna Margaret Ann Starzomski. David Peter Stewart, Options and Opportunities. Congratulations. Jacob Olson Stewart, Honors. Julia Marie Stewart. Oliver Stephen Myers Sorseth, First Class Honors. Abby Teresa Sullivan, First Class Honors. Janisa Jolie Sillaboy. Take a cake. Okay. Mark Dwayne Arbon Tagake. Megan Brianna Teasdale, Honors. Jesse Alexander Tenbrink, Options and Opportunities. Rachel Jessie Thompson, Province of Nova Scotia, Certificate in Gaelic. Seamus Ewan Thompson.
Don't say what else does, so just say Thompson. Okay, go ahead. Just pronounce it right.
Leah Nicole Thompson Estelles. Ozan Erkmez, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, First Class Honors, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Kim Elaine Vandernoor, Nova Scotia International Student Program. Miranda Lou Van Oorschot, Honors. Cale Joseph Benedum. Molly Alexandra Voki. Okay. David Francis Wallace. Leslie Rochelle Wallace, Options and Opportunities. Miranda Reed Wallace, Province of Nova Scotia Certificate in Gaelic, Honours. Okay. Stephanie Maritzia Wallace, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, First Class Honours. Bridget Frances Ward, First Class Honors. Darren Joseph Waterman. Logan Rain Williams, Options and Opportunities. Brian Linkai Yang, International Baccalaureate Diploma Candidate, First Class Honors. Rebecca Taylor Young. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of 2019. At this time, I'd just like to mention to the graduates that when they receive their diploma packages in the other room, when they return their gowns, they will receive an official transcript and 2 unofficial transcripts. If you need more transcripts than this, follow the process on the Strait Regional Centre for Education website. If any of you, and it's your responsibility to make sure these get to your post-secondary institution of choice. So make sure that you get it there before the date that they need it. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage your valedictorian, Jack Clapperton.
Love you too. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Mr. McDonald. I had requested some pyrotechnics, but apparently that's a fire hazard, so whatever, good enough. So, good evening, folks. I'd first like to say to everybody, congratulations. We have worked long and hard to be where we are today. And I'd like to begin by thanking a few people. First of all, my mother, my father, my sister Sarah, and my whole family for always believing in me. The fellas for always having my back. You guys know who you are. Madame Frizzle from grade 3 for always believing in me. And Ms. Jen Priddle, the teacher who nominated me for valedictorian. She saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself. Now, over our last 4 years here at Dr. J, we have learned a lot. Mr. McFarland taught us things like trigonometry, Pythagoras, and a bunch of other things I've already forgotten about. Ms. Bootlier taught us about poetry and Shakespeare and paper writing, and we'll see if she did a good job or not after we hear the rest of the speech. And Ms. Penny, who probably taught us the most useful lessons of all in her law class: how to get out of a speeding ticket, how to keep the cops away from a house party, and, of course, how to properly sing Happy Birthday. Now, all of this knowledge will, without a doubt, be useful and valuable as we go forward in life, but I think the most important thing that we've learned over our 4 years is how to be leaders. And whether it's through student council, community volunteering, or any of the wonderful sports teams we have local here in Antigonish. But I've learned that leadership isn't just about being in charge and instructing others. It's also about support and helping others be the best that they can be. And sometimes we do this without even realizing that we have. I remember one time a good friend of mine came up to me during our last NSSA conference, and he said to me, "You know, Jack, you're a real leader. I see you here at our conferences and around school, and you inspire me to be a better person." I thought to myself, wow, I never imagined I could have this kind of impact on somebody. And coincidentally, at the same conference, we heard a speech from Drew Dudley, and I encourage you all to go watch his TED Talk online. Now, what Drew said was, everybody everywhere has been impacted by somebody, but most people don't even realize that they've impacted someone because no one's ever told them. And I can tell you, hearing this from my friend meant the world to me. So I'd like to challenge you all to do something, not just for myself, but also for you. Find someone in your life who has inspired you in a positive way and tell them, because that can completely change someone's outlook on life. So now to lighten the mood a little bit, I put together a little piece that I called, "You Might Go to Dr. J If." You might go to Dr. J if you took Mr. Puskas's art class for an easy credit and almost failed. You might go to Dr. J if you skip school on your birthday, so Ms. Penny wouldn't sing to you. But of course, nobody's actually ever done that. Of course not. You might go to Dr. J if Buds has told you to come sign in if you haven't signed in yet. You might go to Dr. J if you fear Effie Bootlier's wrath more than you fear death. You might be from Dr. J if you complain about the burnt bagels at the breakfast program, but God damn it, you eat them anyways. You might be from Dr. J if your parking lot looks more like a dump than a place for cars. You know what I'm talking about, come on. You might be from Dr. J if your teachers don't threaten to call your parents, because they'll just see them at the next family reunion. And that's for all the McDonald's out there. All right. So, on a more serious note, on behalf of the graduates, thank you to everyone, all our family, friends, teachers and staff, everybody who has believed in us, and especially everybody who didn't. You see, in your life, there will be many people who wish to see you succeed and grow, and there will be people who want the opposite. However, I believe that everybody has the potential to do anything they want to do, and everybody should be able to achieve the most. However, some people just don't want to, and negativity like that is something that nobody needs in their lives. And I've got the perfect quote for that. Anybody can fly like an eagle, but some turkeys, you just gotta leave on the ground. Now, I look around at these faces, these positive people that I've had the pleasure of knowing these last 4 years, and I know we've got some real eagles in here. And this isn't just good advice for high school, but as you go on in your life, leave negativity behind. This transition is a true gift. Like a caterpillar in its cocoon, you have been learning and growing for the past 4 years. And now take hold of this opportunity. Break out of your shell, spread your wings, and make a name for yourself in this crazy world. So now we're high school graduates. Soon we're going to be handing back our gowns, saying our goodbyes. And there will be hugs and tears, but before that, as a final thought going forward, I'd like to leave you with a line from my favorite poem, Invictus. I am the master of my fate, and I am the captain of my soul. Now you can take this to mean multiple things, but know this. You are the master of your fate. And whatever you choose to do, you will succeed with determination and ambition. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening.
When I reviewed Jack's speech on Monday, I quickly learned that it's a good segue to mine. So thank you, Jack, for almost introducing my talk here. Come to the edge. They say, we are afraid. Come to the edge. They are pushed and they fly. We are fortunate to live in an area where the forest and the ocean are never far away, where we often catch glimpses of wildlife. Something I truly enjoy is watching eagles soar and teaching of flying to their young. There's a nest close to my home, and I've been able to experience this firsthand. The parents hover over the nest and flap their wings. The babies do the same, rising slightly above the nest as their new wings catch air. After days of vigorous practice and wing flapping, fledglings are literally forced from the nest in a tall tree by their parents for their first flight. There comes a time when the young must eventually venture into the world all on their own with next to no knowledge of what is to come, a time when they are forced to take more risks and use their natural instincts and what has been taught to them to adapt to the outer world. Graduates, I'm sure you've realized that you have come to an edge. Yes, you will experience other significant transitions in your lives, But today, Dr. J is the edge and a major milestone. You are about to take a gigantic leap. And with this leap, you are leaving behind the trademarks of adolescence, the attitudes of immaturity, the uncertainties of youth, and the freedom to put play before work. You are leaping into the future, an amazing place where reaching your goals and your subsequent success is not guaranteed by being a graduate. In reality, it's far from it. We live in a fast-paced, technological world where, if you stop improving, you are stagnant. You are called Generation Now, in reference to having any answers at your fingertips. And yet, you will experience situations that you cannot control, such as the fear that many of you are feeling as you prepare to leave high school, not knowing what the future holds. But rest assured that Dr. J has given you the tools to succeed, a place to foster your intelligence and acknowledge the world outside the classroom. This changing world offers you unparalleled opportunities and some very difficult challenges, but you were taught to think creatively, to problem solve, and to develop your mind, body, and spirit. This has prepared you for every responsibility that you will be asked to take, and you will earn the right to exercise the growth it brings to you. Because when you begin your new life after high school, you are not going to be making decisions. You are going to be making decisions by yourself, decisions that used to be made for you. You are going to have the freedom to choose your own destination. You will have the freedom to leave behind the mistakes you made up to this point. You have the freedom to take the best with you and the right to leave the worst behind. To face your challenges at future studies, in work, and in your day-to-day lives, I offer you the following. Learn anything you are keen on. Follow your passion. The effort and commitment you make are better placed onto something you love. Believe in yourself. Trust in your ability to create a successful career and a rewarding life. Rely on your peers from high school and also the new people you meet for help. You do not have to do everything yourself. The relationships you have formed and continue to form will guide you throughout your life. Embrace change. Change promotes individual as well as collective growth. We have witnessed your transformation into caring, responsible young adults and are confident you will continue to respond positively to change. I would go on, however, in this group of graduates, we trust that you will make a great future no matter what you are presented with. With that being said, it gives me great pleasure to congratulate the 194 bright minds sitting in front of me this evening. We know that you have come a long way to get to this point. I hope you create a future that you are completely passionate about. Certainly you deserve it. In closing, you are fortunate to be graduating from such a special community. Look out into the crowd, to your parents and guardians, your true heroes. Before you depart today, take time to thank them. Thanks to your teachers and other staff members, the folks who dedicated their lives to helping your parents and yourselves to get prepared for the challenges of our ever-changing world. Thanks to the agencies and wider community who contribute to the school in so many ways, tonight we are fortunate to have so many representatives here, a testament to how significant this milestone is for you. Graduates, enjoy this moment, and like the eagle, may you find the confidence and strength to soar to heights you never thought possible. Thank you. Congratulations. Just a couple closing comments. I would like to thank the staff and students, parents, guardians, and community members who have contributed in any way to the success of our graduates. Remember, graduates, again, you're leaving Dr. J, but there will always be a connection to someone there for you. I would like to thank all the students and staff who have been helping or chairing the committees related to all the year-end activities for our graduates. There was a tremendous amount of work done over the past few days, especially today. It was a 24-hour day packed into about 6 hours. A special thank you to Kent and Atlantic Superstore for the greenery and flowers in the stage area this evening. Thanks very much again to St. FX for hosting us in this great facility. I'd like to take a brief moment to acknowledge and show appreciation for the contributions by the staff members who are retiring after many years of service at Dr. John Hugh Gillis. They've been mentioned earlier, and I will recognize them again quickly. Teacher Mr. Brad Puskis, Teacher Miss Yvonne Quick, Teacher Miss Effie Boutlier, Teacher Miss Joan Conrad, Teacher Assistant Miss Elaine Pettipaw, and I bet she's here somewhere tonight, Janitor Miss Tony McLean. Thank you. And our final housekeeping items, just a reminder for the graduates to send that copy of your official transcript that you received tonight to the institution that you're attending next. When we depart here, graduates follow the guidance counselors. They'll take the lead out here, move into the auxiliary rink, return your gowns, and then you'll receive some documents at that time. Thank you all, and good night. It's been a pleasure to honor our 2019 graduates. Be safe. Thank you, folks. I'll ask you to stand one more time for the recessional.